What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my handsome and mysterious co-host, John Luke. What's up, JL?
Stop it. What's going on, Simon?
Sorry, just handsome, not mysterious.
Just
You're displaying
handsome.
everything on your face right there. Guys, also joining us today is friend of the show. You might know him on Twitter as Dynasty Bro Vic. His Twitter handle is Chief Sosa FF, and he is the co-bro of Dynasty Bros FF, which if you have not checked out that show, go check it out right now. Some of the best in the biz. Vic, thank you so much for joining us today, my man.
Hey, thanks for having me. You guys saw me doing that real-time editing. Had to switch the name to myself instead of Dynasty Bros. So I'm solo right now.
You were repping the brand, and now you're repping your account right there.
Yeah, man. Forget those guys.
More like Dynasty Bro.
I didn't say that, Dot.
man.
I didn't say that, Dot.
Dynasty
Say
Bro.
that, Evo. That was all him.
Cool.
Well, Vic, we brought you here today. You're a Dynasty Bro. We are doing a Dynasty mock draft today. It is going to be a half PPR startup, one QB. We did some super flex half PPR last week. This week, it's just going to be one QB. We're talking one quarterback, two running backs, three wide receivers, a flex, and then we're going to do a truncated bench because we don't want to be on here for 4 hours straight. But we'll get 12 rounds in. We got Scott Fish in the chat, said I will fax Josh 10 Bitcoin if you start the show at 2 p.m. EST and go 2 hours today. Oops.
Whoopsie doopsie.
It's 2 p.m. Eastern somewhere, Scott. Craig in here says it's just another mock draft Monday. I should have sang that. JL, you want to take a shot?
You got it.
It's just another mock draft Monday.
Beautiful. You nailed
Smooth.
it.
Craig wishes it was Sunday. Nailed it. Welcome in, Craig, again. Glad to have you here. Jay Wall said, taking time off work because I know my boss is probably just messing around right now. Get back to work, Jay Wall.
What are you doing?
We got Feiji in here saying, and here we go again. I'm reading that in a positive way, but I can also see that being like, and here we go again.
There we go again.
We got JR in the chat. JR said it's chemo day, gents. You will be my entertainment for the first hour, so let's have fun.
Go.
Good luck, JR. You got this. You're going to kill him. We'll do our best to stay entertaining for that first hour of it today. And Tyler,
it's Simon's fault.
Yeah, it's 100% my fault. You can blame it on me. Tyler, the fantasy creator, welcome in. He said, I've been on that show. And then, man, I miss doing guest spots. We miss you, Tyler. We got to have you back over here. And then Super Panda Bear 32 says Cup has to be a top 5 pick in PPR. We'll see where he goes in a half PPR league today in a dynasty league. So I'm curious to see where Cup lands. There's a couple players I'm curious about. And Albert, welcome in. Glad to have you here, my man.
What up,
Another
Albert?
mock draft. And guys, our mock draft is full. We got no spots left once the stream started today. So I apologize to anyone that was looking for a last minute spot, but I have good news. If you want to make sure you get a spot next week, you can join our Discord where we post the link to our mock drafts ahead of time. And then you can grab a spot for next week. Just be on the lookout, have your notifications on, and you'll get that message coming through with the draft board ready to go. Guys, before we get started with our show today, a couple reminders. If you are not already following our guest, Vic, go and do that right now. He's on Twitter at Chief Sosa FF, as you can see below his handsome face on the screen right there. Like we already said, Dynasty Bros FF is one of the best shows in the business, and Vic's a major part of that. He's the co-bro. So make sure you guys go and follow him over there and check out the content that they are putting out. After you do that, though, if you're watching this video, that means you are already on our YouTube or Twitch channels. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button on this video. And make sure you subscribe to Front Yard Fantasy on YouTube. And then if you're on Twitch, hit that follow button. Both of those are the easiest way to show your appreciation for what we're doing over here. And it motivates JL one more day. He just is looking for that little bit of motivation to get in the shower in the morning. If you ever notice he's not showered, it's because our subscriber count didn't go up. And so he just stays dirty until the number goes up.
Really hits me.
Jason, don't tell me what to do, Simon.
New year, new me.
New year, new me. I shower once a week now.
There you go.
Guys, we are doing a half PPR Dynasty mock draft. Like I said, I ran through the roster construction already. For those of you watching who may not have played Dynasty before, I know Dynasty's not familiar to everyone. How Dynasty works is in redraft, you draft a new team every year. In Dynasty, you are going to roll over your entire team from year to year. The only new players being added via draft after year one are rookies from the rookie draft or free agents, if those are available in your free agent draft as well. So when you're drafting here, you're drafting not just for next year, but there's some longevity to take into account. Dynasty is valued a little bit different than redraft. So we'll see how that affects the draft board today. Are you guys ready to get started?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go, man. I'm ready.
Vic is drafting from the 9 spot, JL from the 12 spot, and J-Wall picked the spot right in between you guys so we could snipe you on every turn. I'm going to go ahead and start this draft, and it looks like Aaron has the first pick overall. I'm curious to see who goes first. Vic, while he's making
Aaron's going to go first.
Aaron's going to go first. Aaron took Josh Allen. A reminder to everyone, this is not Superflex. This is a 1 QB Dynasty mock draft right here.
The roster says Superflex.
Oh, my God. So here's
you already have the first 2 picks, which are quarterbacks.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I updated it and then I didn't save it. So we are going to start over. I apologize to everybody. I went into the draft settings and then it says Dynasty half PPR.
And then the roster settings.
Did I not save the roster settings? Damn it. That's what I did wrong.
All good.
My apologies, guys. We're going to add another flex, make this take away a bench. Oh, no, we were going to do 4 bench, 1 flex here.
We need one of those. We need one of those chalkboards that says like 0 days since Simon's last goof.
0 days since Simon ruined everything. I ruined mock draft Monday. Aaron, I apologize on that one. If you're watching this, this is a single QB draft, not super flex. I saw Josh Allen go and figured that must have been the case. So let's start this draft up again. Man, my bad, guys, on that one. My bad.
Unforgivable.
All good. All good.
Let's see. And maybe there's some, maybe I should access the chat here, see if anyone's talking over there. Oh, they're in there. They got it. Whoa, not super flex. J-Wall's on top of it. I apologize for that mix-up at the beginning here. But, Vic, I was going to ask you, in a non-super flex Dynasty startup, who is your 101? Who's the guy that you would take in this first overall spot?
Man, all formats. Jonathan Taylor, man, has to be. So I'm all about skill players, man.
So even in a super flex league, you're going Jonathan Taylor 101 over all of those quarterbacks?
I'm still doing it. So I'm sticking to my late QB. That's usually my approach.
Sticking with late QB. JL, I know that's some music to your ears. You like drafting that way as well. In a non-super flex, do you agree with Vic, though? Is Taylor your 101?
I think I'd take a QB in super flex formats.
And why isn't this timer going down? You guys see that?
Yeah.
There we go. That one wasn't on me. That was on Sleeper. Truly Epic has their first pick, said it would be Hunter Renfrow. I would have never guessed, Truly Epic, that you would say Hunter Renfrow first overall. And Jay wants to know, is Josh still exploring the ocean floor with Blippi and Mr. T? I'm not sure, JL. Did you talk to him this morning? Is he still down there?
He is not. He has surfaced. Now he's just enjoying the spoils of mainland China.
Oh, the spoils of mainland China, of course. That's the obvious next step after.
He told me he tried that dish that you had when you were in China, Simon. What was that called?
Century eggs.
What was it called?
The century eggs. Is that what
century
you're talking
egg,
about?
Yeah. He loved it. He loved it, actually.
Oh, well, more for him. He can have all of my century eggs. I don't know if you guys have ever eaten it. It's the worst thing I've ever eaten. I've eaten some weird stuff. It was
so rude.
It's like they take an egg and then they like bury it in a jar wrapped in salt. So it's like covered in salt and then they just leave it. And it's called a century egg because originally it was supposed to be for 100 years. They don't do 100 years anymore. But what comes out is this egg where the yolk is like gelatinous and black, and then the white is gelatinous and black, and then the yolk is like green, and it tastes like farts and tires, and it's just awful. It's disgusting. I do not recommend. There goes the first wide receiver to Swamp, taking Ja'Marr Chase third overall after Najee Harris. JL, I'm curious. So it sounds like JT's the unanimous 101, but like that 102 could go a lot of different ways. Would Najee be your guy, or would it be someone else at that spot?
I think there's an argument to be made for Najee. I think CMC is still in the conversation, to be honest. I don't know that you have to take him at 102, but yeah, I think Najee is probably the consensus 102.
Vic, what about you? Is Najee your 102? You said you love skill players, so who's that skill player who comes in second for you?
Yeah, for me, it is Najee. Definitely want to get those running backs early and often.
So that's probably where I vary a little bit. In any non-super flex platform, I'm probably going Ja'Marr Chase or Justin Jefferson first or second overall.
I think I would too. I think I would just pivot and go wide receiver.
Jonathan Taylor would definitely be tempting at that spot, but at the 2 spot, I'm most likely going with one of those 2 wide receivers. This week it's Justin Jefferson. Maybe next week it'll be Ja'Marr Chase. They flip back and forth all the time. I'm trying not to overreact to Ja'Marr Chase in the playoffs here. Kyle Pitts in the middle of the first round. And JL, I know you like seeing Christian McCaffrey get that respect up there. You've talked about it at length, so I'm going to ask Vic. Vic, how do you feel about or wait, are you on the clock right now? No, not yet. We got some time. How do you feel about Christian McCaffrey in Dynasty?
Man, I'm actually not interested. So if you got him, he's a hold. For me. But as far as Dynasty Startup, I'm not looking to go get him, at the top of the draft, anything like that. But of course, if the value falls, we'll just have to see how that plays out, especially with this offseason. Of course, taking where the value is, but I'm not actively going to go get him.
Gotcha. I think that's there's a bunch of people who feel that way. JL might be in the outlier, still value him as one of those top tier guys. I probably lie somewhere in between. Like in that second round, I'm more than fine drafting Christian McCaffrey.
All right, I'm on the clock. Let's see, man. A lot of good guys went. A lot of guys I were targeting, but I'm going to get some AJ Brown, man.
Some AJ Brown. So is he your number 3 wide receiver in Dynasty or higher?
Actually, I definitely need to update my rankings, but when I last did my top 5, he just fell outside of my top 5. But I definitely need to, reevaluate where I have him now. But I would definitely say right now for sure, Justin Jefferson still my number 1, believe it or not, and Chase at number 2. Just looking at the yardage Jefferson was able to put up, and I like route runners. That's kind of what I lean towards. Of course, Chase is, he's explosive, but I'm still tied to the route runners, man. So
I'm with you. Jefferson's still number 1 for me. I am a little bit lower on AJ Brown than most. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I need to go back and watch some of his dominant games, remind myself why he was like the number 1 Dynasty wide receiver in the offseason. JL, so I assume Chase and Jefferson are your 1 and 2. Who's your 3 in a Dynasty format?
I think it would be Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams still number 3. I don't blame you for that. And I'm operating under the assumption that he's still going to be with Aaron Rodgers next year, whether that's in Green Bay or somewhere else. It doesn't seem likely that the Packers are able to franchise tag him financially. So I imagine as a free agent, he'll follow Rodgers wherever he goes. And JL's on the clock. This might be for a non-superflex draft, our least amount of running backs drafted in the first round in a dynasty mock that we've done in a while. Usually I feel like this first round is a lot more running back heavy. Truly Epic wants to know what comes out after you eat the leg. Poop. Just like everything else I eat, that's what comes out. And not of the egg, of me, just so we're clear on that one. Jay said too much wide receiver depth to go with wide receiver that early in his opinion. That's fine. I understand that. I like the safer value that wide receivers provide to me in Dynasty in some regards. I know there's obvious downfalls to that strategy as well, but you also usually get a couple more years out of them as well. But Jay hits on a good point. We'll see that wide receiver value start coming pretty soon, I believe. JL, Javonte Williams in the first round. Are you operating under the assumption that he's going to be alone in that backfield next year, or you don't care? He's still a first round pick for you.
Don't care. 21 years old. I'm actually probably the lowest on Javonte Williams out of the 3 of us that are normally on the show, Simon, you, me, and Josh. But I wanted to zag here. I wanted to go a little different. I was deciding between Javonte Williams and Alvin Kamara, and I decided to go with the guy who's got a little less wear on his tear, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I know what you mean. He's got a little less wear on his tear.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm up. This one's tough. I'm debating. I'm definitely going to go running back here. I'm leaning Cam Akers just because for me, I like to go young. I like to start young in these leagues, but I think I'm going to take a chance with AK, man.
I like that pick.
Yeah, I think that's a great
AK.
pick. That's great value right there, followed by Dalvin Cook on the auto draft right there. But Alvin Kamara, I know there's massive question marks in New Orleans now, but you got to just – that talent, you got to just bet on the talent at some point, right? Like wherever he is, they're going to figure out how to get him the ball, whether it's in New Orleans with a new quarterback, new coach, or on some other team to free up some cap.
And, right now he's their, best receiver, in my opinion, on the team. So,
oh, yeah.
Until Michael Thomas comes back, but we'll see how that goes. So.
Yeah, and maybe we haven't seen Michael Thomas put it together for an extended period of time in a while now. I don't know what he looks like anymore. I'm excited to see him healthy. We got Brady in the chat saying, happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday, Brady. Go Tigers. Glad to have you here. And Jordan upset that you drafted A.J. Brown ahead of him, Vic. You snagged A.J. Brown from him. Justin, what's up? Welcome in. Happy Monday to you. And crazy games yesterday. Good God. we're spoiled. Like, this has been an unreal couple of weekends of football. I know wild card weekend was all blowouts, but the divisional round and then championship games were just, man, like, I'm fully expecting the Super Bowl to be like 30-3, like just some really boring game where it's a bit of a blowout, because there's no way we can keep going with this good football, right?
Man, it's definitely been exciting, man. It's good to see, at least some fresh faces in the bowl. Of course, the Rams were there a few years ago, but having the Bengals there, man, like, who would have saw that? So I'm definitely excited for them.
I mean, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to add, I mean, I definitely love the young team that's confident and, basically playing with no fear in their heart. So definitely let us see that.
It's as a Browns fan, I know I'm not supposed to like the Bengals, but man, this Bengals team is hard not to like. Like, they are Ja'Marr Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow. Like, they just got that fight in them. They're out there playing with house money, saying like, why not us? Exactly. Like, let's go for it. And it's been so much fun to watch. And then even the Rams, I know they were there a couple years ago, but Matthew Stafford's never been in a Super Bowl. And like, this is a different Rams team showing up there. I'm excited to see Stafford against this team that nobody saw making it to the Super Bowl this year. It should be a fun one, man. The Bengals, that's nuts.
I know, man, it is.
I want to see somebody that, like, somebody's call at the beginning of the season for a Bengals in the Super Bowl. It's not just a homer pick. Like, I'm sure somebody out there's got receipts saying they called it, or a bet slip or something, Bengals in the Super Bowl. I want to see like the one madman who put that out there.
Hey, that $10 is going a long way, I'm sure, or 20, whatever they put down.
Did you see the bet from the FanDuel Sportsbook yesterday that they were posting? Somebody correctly predicted the scores of both championship games and turned $20 into like $576,000.
Crazy, man. Yeah, actually, I did saw that. That was pretty cool to see. I gotta start taking more shots, man.
That's what everyone thinks seeing that bet. It's exactly why they put that out there. I feel like they're like, people are gonna see this and be like, man, I gotta take more shots.
There you go. It's working.
Nuts.
It's working.
Yeah, it's absolutely working.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm pretty sure we had the same conversation on our morning stand-up, and Simon was like, I got to start taking more shots.
Like, why not? Why not me? Why couldn't it be me? Why couldn't I perfectly predict the scores? Of course I can, right? If he can do it, I can do it.
I wonder what the odds of that are. Like, is this like a lightning situation? Less likely than a lightning situation, getting struck by lightning? I don't know.
I don't, like, part of me, I'm trying to take like some weird stats that I know from other places and apply them here. Like the Scoregami account, like after somebody scores, will tweet out. And I remember like in the Rams game, after the first touchdown, they tweeted out like, this game has a 1.3% chance to end in a Scoregami. And a Scoregami is not just one score. It's a bunch of different possible scores. But I guess maybe they're more uncommon scores. I don't know. You have to think it's less than 1% to get one of those right.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
it's got to be.
Something
or else
crazy.
Just make like 100, make a few hundred bets and you're good.
Yeah, it's got the odds on the first game, the score that they predicted, if I remember correctly, were plus 22,000. Were the odds?
Yeah, then you got to multiply them. You got to multiply the probabilities together in order to get both games correctly. God, that's insane.
Just absolutely nuts. I can't believe it. Guys, we're seeing that wide receiver value Jay was talking about a little bit. There's been a wide receiver run starting in the middle of the second round, with DK Metcalf being the seventh wide receiver off the board, Dynasty wide receiver 7 over there to Super Team. What's up, Josh? Welcome in. Hope your exploits in China are going well.
Yes.
Vic, how do you feel about DK Metcalf in Dynasty? I know he was very disappointing to like redraft managers this year. Are you expecting a bounce back for him next year?
Man, I am, man. I mean, he's still so young, right? What, he's like 23, going to be 24. So still a lot of room to grow. And I know there's a lot of question marks around Russell Wilson, but you could tell Seattle wants to get him the ball. And of course, you got an aging Tyler Lockett. He can still make plays down the field, but DK is the man. So I'm still checking for him.
Yeah. He's moved down my rankings a little bit. I mean, he's no longer wide receiver 1 overall, but he's still in that upper echelon of players. Like after the Ja'Marr Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb tier, there's Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, and I think DK Metcalf likely belongs at the bottom of that tier for me, instead of in that next tier.
Yep, I can see that. Yep.
We got Swamp in the chat saying, who dat at work, and he cries. And he said, don't remind me the Rams making the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, Swamp. Not happy about it.
Sorry, Swamp.
Justin in here saying DJ Moore way too early in his opinion. And Justin, I will disagree with you on that. I'm curious what my co-hosts think. DJ Moore, I love the talent and the opportunity is still there, even with poor quarterback play. His volume share is unreal in that Carolina offense. And he produced this year with horrid quarterback play. He's still a top 6 dynasty wide receiver for me. I know I'm very high on him, but Vic, how do you feel about DJ Moore? Do you think this was too early for him, but get another 3rd round right there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually looking for DJ Moore a little bit later. Again, we've seen him in action without a CMC. I definitely would like to see a little bit more production out of him, just given that scenario. But I do understand, all the love and hype for him. I will say this: he definitely looked more explosive this year, just from watching him. So I actually was off the DJ Moore train, and I got back on this year.
JL, what about you here?
I think he's right where he belongs. I think that's around where I'd be taking him, around that T. Higgins range. I'd be taking Debo ahead of him for sure. Swamp got a deal with Debo there, in my opinion. But yeah, I think I maybe a few spots back is where I would land. Deontay Johnson does feel probably right around where DJ Moore should be going to. So maybe he was taken a little early as well.
Who?
But just Deontay Johnson. Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't mind that.
Even, I'm saying a little early, I'm talking half a round. Like I'd be taking him probably after Debo and T. Higgins there.
Yeah. Man, is Debo the most fun player to watch in the NFL? Like
he's
every time,
extremely fun to watch.
God, every time he touches the ball, I get excited. Like I'm just like sitting there like, okay. I know I said it before, but again, I was sitting on the couch. Every time he touches the ball, I look at him, and I feel like that kid from The Incredibles just perfectly describes every football fan every time they're watching Debo. Do something amazing. I don't know. Like just standing in the driveway looking at Mr. Incredible, hoping something works out right there. And there goes Cam Akers. I know you were considering him in the last round, Vic, and he almost made it all the way back to you. Would you have taken Cam if he was sitting there for you?
I would have debated, but at this point, I'm all about the wide receiver depth, so I'm not really pressing for them right now. I might jump out and get a tight end here, man. And it's not going to be Kelsey. So I'm actually between QB. I usually like to go later on the QB side, but I'm going to wait. This is one QB, so I got to remember that. Let's see, man. These running backs.
5 seconds, unless you need me to pause it.
No. Come on, man. I can't have you pause it. I'm going to go ahead and get Mark Andrews.
I like that pick, Vic. I like that pick a lot.
Man, it hurts me down in my soul to see Travis Kelce at best the 4th tight end taken off the board, but I'm not going to call anybody wrong for taking any of these 3 guys over him. The one I probably have the biggest problem with is Kittle, but even then I understand taking Kittle ahead of Kelce. So Vic, you took Andrews ahead of him. Would you take Pitts and Kittle ahead of Kelce as well?
Pitts, yes. Kittle, yeah. So give me actually Pitts, Andrews. Waller's still my guy, man. But of course I like Kelce as well. So really, man, I have Kittle like 5, man.
I'm with you. That's where I have Kittle as well. And I love Waller. I'm expecting a bounce back next year. And we've talked about it on the show before. Something that's given me a lot of hope for that bounce back is the success Hunter Renfrow had when Waller was out. Like that target volume is going somewhere. And those are Darren Waller targets that made Hunter Renfrow the success that he was this year. I'm not saying Renfrow is going to disappear, but Waller is going to come back and he's going to be a pivotal part of this offense. Take some of those targets from Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, and you got Josh McDaniels stepping in there. So we already know how they utilize tight ends from New England and what they're already doing in Vegas. So, yeah, that's just going to be rinse and repeat, man.
Man, I'm excited for Waller next year. I feel like you're going to be able to get him at a value in redraft leagues next year after this past season. He's not going to be drafted in that same range as like Kelce, Kittle, Pitts, Andrews like he was this past year.
Yeah.
We got Rock Lee in here saying super teams only is the motto. So trying to create a super team right there. Started with Kyle Pitts to create that dynasty super team. Feiji wants to know, is Rashad Penny a number 1? So after JL makes this pick, we're going to go to him because he's Rashad Penny truth or number 1. JL, is Rashad Penny a number 1 running back? A top 12 guy in Dynasty? No. Is he the number 1 on his team going into next year?
Sure.
You think so? Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know that it's going to be that very valuable position to be in. If Russ isn't there, I'm not super excited either way. I think that they might go roll in with committee. I would want to see Rashad Penny do it for a longer period of time than just the, 5 games that we got.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I like the upside. I think he's a good flyer, but I'm not drafting him as if he's the starting running back, workhorse back for that team. Vic, how do you feel about? Oh, you're picking right now, so I won't disturb you about Rashad Penny while you're making your pick.
All right.
Tim in here says, "How the heck is McKinnon not the dynasty RB1 now?" I don't know.
Tim just wants that. He's trying to will that into existence for his dynasty team.
Tim was 4 years too early on McKinnon, but boy did he call it.
He signed him off the waiver wire, so I think that's what made it so sweet for Tim.
Who else has he signed off the waiver wire? I feel like he's gotten was it Aaron Jones that? No, I can't remember who the other guy was.
Probably at least one other person.
He's gotten a couple like stud starters off of the waiver wire in our Dynasty League right there.
Yeah.
Truly Epic said, okay, now who's going to draft Hunter Renfrow for me? I'm sure someone will. We will see what goes on
Someone's
there.
got to.
And JR said teams 2, 3, and 4 off to a great start.
Hey, that's Swamp's team.
Yeah. Swamp drafting a good team while at work. Ooh, I do like your team, Swamp. And man, look at these 0 RB teams starting out right now. I love both of those teams right there. I like Swamp's a little bit more though, with Ja'Marr Chase, Stephon Diggs, Deebo Samuel. Vic, if you had to pick one of those wide receiver cores between 3 and 4 right there, would you pick Chase, Diggs, Samuel, or Jefferson, Waddle, Godwin?
Ooh,
that's a tough one, isn't it?
I gotta go. You said tough. Diggs, Waddle, and who else was in with
so
that?
It's Chase,
Jefferson.
Diggs, and Samuel, and then Jefferson, Waddle, Godwin is the second.
Yeah, Jefferson, Waddle, Godwin. I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely want Ja'Marr Chase everywhere I can, but you got Jefferson, you got all the upside in the world with Waddle. I mean, can't lose with that, and of course Godwin.
Yeah, that one's really tough. I think I'll lean the Chase, Diggs, Samuel side. Man, it's Waddle that makes that one really tough for me. Like the Waddle versus Diggs, like Samuel versus Godwin, give me Samuel. Jefferson versus Chase, let's call it a wash. Let's call it a tie. I have Jefferson slightly ahead, but they're close enough that I'm not going to be upset about having either one of them. And it's the Diggs Waddle debate that's making it really close for me. I think Waddle might have the slight edge in a dynasty format, but what's bigger, the Debo over Godwin or the Diggs over or the Waddle over Diggs? JL, what about you? Which one are you?
I would take the Chase, Diggs, Samuel side. But I'm right there with you, Simon. The Waddle part is what makes it tough.
Because I love the upside of Waddle down there in Miami.
I know, but I love Debo and I love Diggs as well.
Man, the only thing about Debo, of course, injuries been a concern in the past. So will he stay healthy going forward? So that's my only thing that I'm looking out for. So, but all in all, he's a stud, man. He's a stud.
He is a stud, and hopefully he shakes that injury prone tag. I know some players it stays with them their whole career, and some they start out looking like they're going to be injury prone, and then all of a sudden they stay healthy. Fagey in here says, is Michael Carter an underlooked option for drafters? JL, how do you feel about Michael Carter in a dynasty format?
I like him. Underrated. I don't know about that. I think he's probably going where he should be going. We will see where he goes in this draft, but he's a smaller back. He's on that Jets offense, which isn't fantastic. He flashed some promise this season. It remains to be seen if he can do that on a sustained basis, but I really do like his potential.
Nick, what about you? How do you feel about our boy Michael Carter?
Yeah, man, I definitely love his upside. He's a nice PPR back. He'll have his games where he'll catch, 5+ passes, and he'll get even sneak and get 100 yards on the ground. I mean, he's just a sneaky guy, and he's a tough runner, man. So I always thought he was slippery in between the tackles. So I wouldn't mind having him as the RB3 on my team, and definitely you can plug him in as your RB2 with one upside.
Yep. He's I love that breakdown right there. If I'm a early RB drafter, I would love to have him as my safety option, a potential flex that I could throw in there on that third running back. And then if you're going wide receiver heavy at the beginning, I think he's one of these high upside backs that you can get in the 5th or 6th round, maybe. He's got that upside that a lot of the backs in that range do not have in my mind. Timothy in here saying Jones and Godwin are the players that he got off the waiver wire. Chris Godwin and Aaron Jones are the other two on top of Jerick McKinnon. So I would say those have worked out pretty well for you, Tim. Truly Epic says Dawson Knox. I bet he gets even better next year. Might be a sneaky good tight end late pick, in my opinion. I'm not sure how late he's going to get drafted. I think he's going to be a mid-round tight end next year, kind of in that tight end dead zone in the middle of the draft after all the studs are off the board and before those sleepers, in that where the Dallas Goddards and the Hunter Henrys were being drafted previously. But I agree. I think he's a great pick for next year. I liked what I saw from Dawson Knox this year. Vic, how do you feel about Knox?
Oh yeah, that's one of my guys, man. Him and Schultz. So he's tied to a Josh Allen. I was gonna say Josh Mahomes.
Josh Mahomes. Did you say that this weekend?
I said Josh Mahomes this weekend. I did.
There we go. I thought I heard it somewhere. No, but he's tied to Josh Allen, man. You already know all the attention's on Diggs, so Knox can definitely sneak downfield, especially in the red zone. Get a lot of those red zone targets.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Now, JL, I wanted to ask you about this pick. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, that is quite the fall from where he was going last year in Dynasty Startup drafts. And I'm sure the recent usage of Jerick McKinnon in the playoffs isn't helping his draft position. Are you worried about Clyde Edwards-Helaire going into next season because of what we're seeing here in the playoffs?
Yeah, I am worried. I'm not so much worried about the usage aspect of it. I think that has to do with injury, his coming back and healing from this, I believe, shoulder injury that he's been nursing. But I am concerned about his overall production. I mean, draft capital only goes so far. Now we have 2 mediocre, subpar years of performance from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So I am concerned, not so much about the short-term stuff, but going into next season, like, he has to prove it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I hate seeing production come from other backs in an offense like this of equal or greater value than someone like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, because it shows that production that he provides them is replaceable. That's not saying he's not going to be the main guy next year, but it removes a lot of that security that you have whenever you're drafting one of these running backs that you expect to be the starter. Because Jerick McKinnon's killing it out there. That shows they can plug in semi-talented back. Sorry, very talented. My apologies, Jerick McKinnon, and get the same production.
Yeah.
And now Vic's back on the clock.
Yeah, I'm going to call myself out. I'm in a pickle, man. A lot of these running backs who I was targeting, they're gone. Like, I was looking at David Montgomery, Travis Etienne, who went right before me last round. So I wanted Josh Jacobs. So, yeah, I'm actually going to pivot from the RBs right now. I don't really want any receivers right now, so I'm going to go ahead and get my QB. This is a little bit early than I want to, but, man, Pat Mahomes or Joey B. Like, I love Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty. That's his one of his nicknames. I think I'm going to go with Joe Shiesty, man. Give me the guy that can put up 500 yards, tied to Chase, T. Higgins. I like the weapons. Don't get me wrong, Patrick Mahomes still the man, but I'm definitely want Joe Burrow right here.
I like that. Spicy. And 2 things you did there that I love in fantasy. One, you got to be flexible. Like, you were trying to target a running back there, guys. Take that as a lesson. The running backs that he wanted weren't there. He didn't force it and draft someone lower value that he could get in a later round, pivoted and grabbed his guy at another position. And then 2, sometimes you just got to get your guys, man. Like, you were talking between Burrow and Mahomes, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, who would I want more? I don't know. Like, maybe the right answer for me is Mahomes, but it's going to be fun to have Joe Burrow on your team with Ja'Marr Chase, T. Higgins. Like, fantasy's supposed to be fun. And if there's a guy that you just really like Jalen and I are Clemson guys. So I probably draft a couple more Clemson players than maybe my rankings would say to do so, but it makes it more fun for me to have a Mike Williams, a Hunter Renfrow, a DeAndre Hopkins on my team.
Yeah.
And there goes Pat Mahomes 2 picks later. We're seeing more and more quarterbacks coming off the board. So Patrick Mahomes was the 5th quarterback taken. JL, where do you have Patrick Mahomes ranked? Is he still your top dynasty quarterback?
Yeah. Yeah. Number 1.
Number 1. And then is Josh Allen number 2 for you?
Yeah. And then I think I'd take Josh Allen, and then probably Kyler still. I think it'd be Josh Allen, then Kyler, and then Joe Burrow.
And then Joe Burrow. No love for Justin Herbert right there.
He's right after this, guys.
So a little bit of love.
It's him and Lamar,
Justin
like
Herbert.
In a category. Yeah.
That sounds like a fun club. I'd like to hang out with Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson.
Fantastic company. Yeah.
Vic, so you drafted Joe Burrow over Mahomes. Where do you have him ranked in Dynasty? Like, is he your QB1, QB3?
Yeah, so actually, Joe, he's in my top 5. So I'm actually working on my rankings right now. I would still consider Mahomes number 1, but I didn't want him right here, just given my team dynamic. Of course, 1 QB, so I'm not really pressed to grab Mahomes here. But my top 5, I would say Mahomes, Josh Allen, Herbert, Burrow, and Kyler.
Gotcha. That checks out. There's so much variance in those like top 5, 6 quarterback ordering. Like, it seems like most people have that same top 6 group, but it's all over the place. This offseason's exciting because I feel like outside of a couple guys like Ja'Marr Chase, Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, it's like wide open with how people have these players ranked in a way that I can't really remember from the past couple seasons, consensus being this unconsensus on a lot of these top guys.
Consensus being this unconsensus.
Non-consensus over here. We got Feiji in the chat wanting to know who has the biggest bounce back, Barkley, Allen Robinson, Julio Jones, or Juju.
It's Barkley.
That's a good question. Barkley for you, JL?
Yep.
I think it's Barkley or Juju for me. I still really believe in Juju's talent.
That is, if we're counting like the size of the bounce back, like, the distance by which they're bouncing back here, Juju has to be in that conversation, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because he's coming from pretty low down there. And I think he can get back, maybe not to that form we saw in that like elite season when he was a superstar ascending. He was in conversation again to the number 1 overall dynasty wide receiver that offseason. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
And now I don't think he gets back up to that level, but I believe in Juju going forward. Vic, which of these names jumps out to you as a bounce back candidate for next season?
Give me the names again. I was actually drafting. You said,
but you're good. It was Barkley. So Saquon Barkley, Allen Robinson, Julio Jones, or Juju Smith-Schuster.
Ooh, man, if Allen Robinson gets a change of scenery, I'm gonna go with Allen Robinson. But if not, I'm gonna lean Juju. I'm a little nervous with the Barkley thing, man. I mean, just coming off the injuries, he just, for me, doesn't look the same. And I'm not really a fan of the organization. I know they just brought in some new players from a GM perspective and a head coach, so maybe that'll change and turn some things around for them. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's been sad watching Allen Robinson not have like an outlet for his talent. I don't know a better way to put it. He just has no way to showcase it on that team right now. So man, that dude, I would love to see him with just like a great quarterback situation. We got Carlos in here saying, I'm just tuning in, but give me the Bengals at every position and I'll run them for the next 15 years.
Yeah.
Not a bad strategy right now. It looks like that offense is fun to watch. T. Higgins, Ja'Marr Chase, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon. You got yourself a team right there.
Yep.
Truly
Josh,
epic. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Josh had a comment up here that we missed, I think. I said, watch about 5 minutes behind, but I just did a startup super flex. AJ Brown went around the 302, Barkley at the 210, Chubb was in the 4th, and Zeke was in the 7th, just to give you some real ADP. Yeah, it's interesting. AJ Brown, 302. That kind of makes sense in a super flex.
Yeah.
What do you think, Vic?
Yeah, it does. It does. Given QBs usually fly off the board. I got to admit, man, I don't like my last pick, but these running backs are starting to dry up. And, yeah, man, that's the price you pay.
Yeah.
I don't hate your pick. Miles Sanders in the 6th round. I think that's good value for the flashes that we've seen from him. For me, the big question is just the Eagles and how they're going to use them. Because if they give him the workload, he's the dude. Like he's like on yards per attempt, yards per carry. Like he's top of the charts over the past couple seasons. Like he measures out well. He just hasn't really been given that full opportunity or stayed healthy for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
I like him though. We had a question in here. Come Here Now wants to know who wins the Super Bowl. Vic, who do you got, Rams or Bengals?
All right, man. The fantasy, guy in me and all the hype wants to say the Bengals, but I got put on my football hat and the Rams, man. They just have the more complete team. I mean, looking at that defense, starts with that D-line.
Defense look great.
Yeah, man. With adding Von Miller, and then you got next to Aaron Donald, and you got, Jalen Ramsey. If you ask me, I would put Jalen Ramsey on T. Higgins, because if you guys look at how they play, T. Higgins does a lot of the dirty work. He blocks, so maybe Jalen could shed some of those blocks to stop the run game and things like that, man, and double team Chase. Of course, Chase going to be moving all around, so that's what I would like to see them do, man, but I'm rooting for the Bengals, man, but I think the Rams are going to pull it off.
I'm with you. It would be a really cool story. Like, I'm not going to be upset if the Bengals win. Like, what a cool story for that fan base, for that team. Like, it'll be fun to watch them win, but I'll be pulling for the Rams. So I guess a little different from you over there, Vic. I want to see Matthew Stafford get that Super Bowl, and then that defense, Aaron Donald as well. Like, that man deserves a Super Bowl. He's the best player in the NFL. Yeah. It would be so cool to see him get a Super Bowl as well. So I'll be pulling for the Rams, and this Bengals team will probably be back in the next couple of years. That offense isn't going anywhere, and if they get that offensive line a little bit better, man, it's going to be scary. I'm sad being in a division with that offense and the Lamar Jackson-led Ravens offense. It's scary. So, Jail, over under, is Joe Burrow going to get sacked over or under 15 times against this Rams defensive front? It was 9 2 games ago.
I'll take the under on that.
Yeah, I know. I said a ridiculous line there,
but
I said it that way on purpose. I'm scared. I'm scared for Joe Burrow is what I'm trying to say there.
Yes.
This Rams defensive line is nasty, and they were playing good yesterday. They're going to get to him.
That Bengals offensive line is not nasty.
It's better than I thought it was going to be at the beginning of the season, but it's still a little bit too porous for Joe Burrow to feel safe with that Rams line coming at him.
Man, but hey, we saw Joe escape some sacks yesterday against the Chiefs, so I think Chris Jones was on his tail, and yeah, so Yeah.
He's got that.
He was making it work. He was making it work for sure.
He got some, escape artists in him.
Yep.
He does. Man, I'm so conflicted because it would be cool to watch the Bengals win one. Jail, what about you? Who do you think wins it?
I think the Rams win it.
Who do you want to win it?
The Rams.
The Rams.
Yep.
We had a question in here. Andrew said, Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, who would you want as your quarterback for the next 10 years? I'm assuming this is NFL and not fantasy. Who would you want as your quarterback for the next 10 years? So JL, Lamar Jackson retires tomorrow. Who would you want?
It's Mahomes.
It's Mahomes for you, Vic. What about you? What's your team, Vic?
Yeah, the Colts, man. So if these Bengals win, I'm going down the street to celebrate in Cincinnati.
Hell yeah.
But for the next 10 years, man, give me the gunslinger, man. I'm going with Joe Burrow. And I know there's a lot of hype around it, but literally, look how he stepped into the league, all the confidence in the world, bounced back off the knee injury. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
That's Vic, I'm with you. All of these guys are elite talents. Like, you'd be thrilled with any of these three running your team for the next 10 years. But give me the guy who looks like he has that like it factor. I don't know what it is. Something about the swag of Joe Burrow just screams like, I'm going to win 5 Super Bowls. Like, he just has that look in his eye. Like, he's not going to settle for anything less. I'll take Joey B as well, but I'd be thrilled with any of these three guys, or Baker Mayfield, of course. So any of those three guys, let me add Baker Mayfield into the mix.
Or Baker Mayfield, of course.
I'm just trying. It's the power of positive thinking. If I say it enough times, it'll be true, right? Then I'll love having Baker there.
Yeah, any one of those guys for sure.
Including Baker Mayfield. Fagey said they both win, but the Rams will win more if they win the Super Bowl. Did I miss a comment? It said Allen Robinson to the Chargers. That's unrelated right there. So I don't know what Fagey's talking about here, but the Rams will definitely win more than the Bengals if they win the Super Bowl. I agree with you on that front right there. Come here now, says Eli Apple needs to sit down, Simon. Yeah, I know he was making some people mad on Twitter yesterday, talking on Twitter, but it's all part of the fun of the game, right? Come here now, Beach 89 says if the Niners get a great QB, they win the Super Bowl every year. Do you guys think this Niners team is if Trey Lance is able to play at a decent level next year, do you think they're set up for another run in the playoffs? I know some people were surprised to see them there this year.
Yeah, I do think they can make a run, but I will say this: the NFC it's going to get tougher, man. I mean, I'm expecting the Cardinals to rebuild and revamp. Of course, the Rams, they have their window of opportunity right now, which they're taking advantage of, given they sold all their first-round picks for the next few years. So that's going to be tough, but with that defense in mind, as long as DeMeco Ryans stays there as their coordinator, they should be in good shape.
Yep, I'm with you here. And Carlos said it's the celebratory cigar on national television vibes that sell me on Joe Burrow. He's killing it right there. And Andrew said Lamar Jackson is a running quarterback. He won't be nearly as effective as he is right now. That's why I left him off the list. We'll see how he develops as a passer as well. We've already seen big improvements in his passing game. And I imagine this Ravens front offense has been really smart about how they've used Lamar Jackson and designed this offense around him. So I imagine they'll continue to change how this offense is run as his skill set changes over the years. Vic, I wanted to ask, you're on the clock again. Sorry, I'll let you make your pick and then I'll ask you about your last pick.
I hate my last pick.
So Jail, we'll come to you first. Why do you hate your last pick?
Because I hate Kenny Galladay. I hate my last pick. Shouldn't have picked him.
Why'd you do it?
Because the timer was clicking.
Yeah, but what about Kenny Galladay's name drew you when the timer was cracking down?
The options available right now are so bad. I'm just not intrigued by many of them. But then I saw Darnell Mooney and Mike Williams come off after the board. I'm like, I'd rather have them than Kenny Galladay.
Yeah. Do you think there's any world where Kenny Galladay has a bounce back season in the near future?
Yeah, there's a world. It's not a likely world, but there's a world.
Yeah, he's still not in the greatest position. Vic, I wanted to come to you about your James Robinson pick. So we know he had. Sorry, excuse me there. Sorry, are you nervous about James Robinson at all going into next year? Obviously, some people are. He's down here in the 7th round at this point. Are you worried about Travis Etienne? Are you worried about the coaching staff change there, the injury?
Man, I still like James Robinson. Of course, I am expecting ETN to be the main guy, but you could do a lot with him. He's a versatile player, so I can see him lining up in the slot, which leaves James Robinson and in the backfield if they're on the field at the same time. So if we look at the league, I mean, the league is starting to trend towards a committee. Of course, you have a few backfields that are still workhorses, but it just makes sense to why not get a piece of this backfield. And I didn't like my last pick with Miles Sanders, so I'm kind of just hedging my bet there, giving running backs a running thin. So going with the youth.
That checks out. And then you grab Brandon Cooks, the perpetual value in every single draft. I like that pick, Vic.
Yeah. If you look at my receivers, man, I try to land number one wide receivers, as far as like my 3 receivers on my roster. So, of course, Calvin really may have a change of scenery as well, but hopefully he can bounce back if he's not tied to a quarterback that can't throw.
And there goes Hunter Renfrow in the 8th round. Truly epic. There's your guy drafted now. And Carlos saying, whoa, how did Renfrow go so late? Jail, Renfrow or Galladay? Who do you want on your dynasty team?
Renfrow at this point.
Same.
Yeah, same for me right now.
I hate my life.
And Fagey has some trivia for us. Said Jamarcus Russell went first overall in the 2007 draft. Who was picked second overall?
07.
I was like 11, or I don't know how old I was in 2007. Jail, tell me how old I was.
6 plus 7, 13.
13-ish. I was around 13 in 2007.
7th grade.
I was a senior in high school.
Man, I wasn't really keeping up with the NFL at that point in my life. I did not come from a football-loving household. So all of the football discovery came on my own as I started like the college application process.
As you experimented in college?
As I experimented in college, that's whenever I really got into fantasy.
Nice.
You see, I just left off the football word, make it a little bit more ambiguous. And there goes Rashad Penny in the 8th round. JL, do you think this is about the right spot for him with what you were saying earlier?
I don't know.
I like it at that spot. I mean, I wish I would have known Penny was there. I guess I wasn't paying attention. I definitely would have grabbed him.
Over Brandon Cooks or over James Robinson?
Actually over James, I would have looked at that. I would have considered that. Yeah.
I think this is a fair spot for him to go. And Fagey said Calvin Johnson is the answer, and J-Wall came in immediately after. I'm assuming he cheated on that one.
Yeah, he had to cheat. It's J-Wall.
It's J-Wall. He doesn't get trivia right unless he cheats, right? We learned that.
Yes. I'd probably take Michael Carter over Kenny Galladay at this point. God, I hate my life.
What about one of these quarterbacks, Jail? I know you like to wait on quarterback, but would you take a Matthew Stafford or a Russell Wilson over Kenny Galladay? Like looking back at that pick? Did you have taken a note out of Vic's book and pivoted to a position that you don't normally draft that early?
Maybe.
I love the definitive answers.
Yeah, I can't really answer that. I would have potentially taken Stafford or Wilson, but it's a 1 QB league, so I don't like taking them until a 10th round, 9th, 10th round.
Fagey wants to know what's the next position Tim Tebow tries out.
Waterboy.
Missionary? I'm not sure, Fagey.
What's the matter with you?
Who, me or Fagey?
Yeah, you.
No, that wasn't me. I got teed up for that one. What, did you expect me not to see that? Like that's not my fault.
That was a layup.
And Swamp, I like the team you're throwing together right here with the value that they've gotten on running backs. What do you guys think about that running back?
But solid otherwise.
Yeah, I think maybe going a different direction instead of Stafford right there, grabbing I don't know, Rashad Penny or Michael Carter would have been really great right there. I guess you couldn't have taken Penny, but you could have taken Michael Carter. I would have much rather like a Michael Carter there and then grab one of these wide receivers or tight ends in the next round. A Dawson Knox, he's still on the board. You probably could have grabbed. Or is Dalton Schultz still on the board? I'm just throwing names out there. People hate. I'm sorry. I'll stop doing that. That's like the draft etiquette, right? Not to throw out names that haven't been drafted yet.
I guess.
That is the worst.
Unspoken rule.
And then Rock wants to know, why do people have Herbert ranked below top 4 when he has rushing TD upside and an amazing arm and had a top 2 rookie QB seasons ever? LOL. Herbert's first 2 seasons are elite. Rock, I'm with you. I view Herbert in that top tier of quarterbacks. I'm not ready to put him ahead of any of those guys, but he's definitely in the same tier. And part of what does that.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, keep going.
There was only 2 quarterbacks this year. I've said it a couple times that threw for 30 or more attempts in every single game this year, and that was Tom Brady and Justin Herbert. And I expect them to keep running the offense similarly next year. So Herbert's got real upside, even without the rushing upside. Go ahead, JL. What were you saying?
I was going to say, isn't that the actual character from, was it Naruto?
I have no idea. I didn't watch Naruto. That's one I missed. I missed that section of childhood anime. Didn't watch it. Which Pokemon? I watched Yu-Gi-Oh.
No, Vic.
Did I get you?
Yes.
Sucker. JL, Damian Harris in the 9th round. That seems like great value. Do you think he's all the way down there because of Ramondre Stevenson, or what's driving his value down?
I don't know. Probably Ramondre Stevenson. I don't have answers for you today, Simon.
Vic, what about you? Do you grab Damian Harris there? Are you happy with that value? You think that's a good spot, or is it just you needed another running back for that core?
Yeah, I gotta just clean up my running back room, man. So now I'm feeling better. I don't have to. If James Robinson doesn't do his thing, and if it's really the ETN show, hedging my bet there. And if you know how the Eagles like to play with their backfield, so it could be a Boston Scott week, and you might see a flash of Gainwell here and there. And if Sanders not getting it done, definitely I got some insurance.
Yep. I like that right here. And Carlos, and you're saying, I'd just love to see Burrow and the Bengals win. Imagine the man goes down as a legend, national title, Heisman winner, Super Bowl champ, first QB to ever do it. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But I have a feeling this isn't his last shot either. That dude's a baller. Truly Epic says, which wide receiver had 87 receptions and 1,646 yards in 2013? Okay, JL, you got this one, right? 2013, just given the yardage and receptions, you have to know this one, right?
No idea.
I got to guess.
You got to guess, Vic? Let's hear it.
I'm going to go Anquan Bolden.
Okay, cool. That's not a bad guess right there. If we're being honest,
okay.
I think that's a good guess.
Okay.
Truly Epic, let us know who it is, because I don't even have a guess. It gets embarrassing for me when you go more than 1 year back. Like everything more than a year back just blends together football-wise. I'm so bad at that. Feiji said, we got all the trivia in here today. You guys are stealing all my trivia for trivia night, or maybe I'm going to steal some of these and use them anyways. And if you're watching, you'll get a bonus. Feiji said, Terry Crews was selected in the 11th round of the 1991 draft. Which team picked him? I feel like I knew this at one point. Terry Crews has said it, but I don't remember. Do either of you guys know?
Nope.
No clue.
I have no idea either. Man, do I love Terry Crews, though. What's up, Jimmy? Welcome in here. Jimmy said, cheers, boys. Hooday! Are you a Bengals fan, or are you just jumping on? Either way, congrats to you if you're cheering for the Bengals right there. We had some guesses for that trivia in the chat. Truly Epic guessed Rams, and Rock Lee guessed Titans. Oh, wait, that was Truly Epic's question. So I don't know why he said Rams. But that was the guess to the Terry Crews question on that one. JL, got your quarterback. Are you comfortable with Justin Fields as your guy in a 1 QB league? If this was a longer draft, would you be drafting a veteran guy along with that, or are you just rolling with Fields?
Nope, yep, and yep. So
nope, yep, and yep.
Nope, yep, and yep, to answer your questions in order.
So you're not comfortable?
I'm not comfortable, but yes, I am going to draft another QB if this draft had more rounds, and I forget the third one, but it was yep to whatever that
also
one was.
Yep. Let's see. I was trying to look at the other rookie quarterbacks taken. So Trey Lance already gone, Trevor Lawrence already gone, and then it looks like Justin Fields was the third one. Is that about where you view Justin Fields in the rookie quarterback landscape? Where do you have him ranked?
Yeah, I'd have Trevor Lawrence, then Trey Lance, then Fields, back to back to back.
And then Mac Jones or Zach Wilson?
Oh yeah, Mac Jones down there.
And then Zach Wilson, you don't even want to rank him. We don't talk about Zach Wilson.
No.
Okay. Vic, what about you? How do you view these rookie quarterbacks?
Fine.
Justin Fields, is he your top rookie quarterback, top 3 kind of
guy? Trevor Lawrence still my number 1, and Fields number 2, Lance 3, Mac Jones as well 4, and Zach 5. But I will say this, I wasn't as big on Zach coming in, but he's flashing, so I'm definitely going to give him credit where it's due. So hopefully he can continue to take the leaps. So yeah, man. I mean, for me, I always like to leave room on the table to pivot and change my mind on a player.
Yep, I'm with you, especially on the Zach Wilson front. I think people are being very harsh on these rookie quarterbacks, especially the ones in the horrid situations like Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence. They played in just as bad of a situation that a rookie quarterback can play in with all the pressure starting day one. But I'm with you, and I think Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson both showed some signs of life this season, that they're not just going to, this isn't who they are as NFL quarterbacks. So I'm still fairly high on Lawrence, not as high on Wilson, but I'll give him some room. I'll draft him late. Like at this point, I don't have any problem with drafting Zach Wilson in this range.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers went after Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. So JL, you went Justin Fields over Aaron Rodgers. Was this personal spite, or was this just you want the young quarterback?
I wanted the young guy. I have him higher than Rodgers in my dynasty rankings for that reason. But I was trying to decide between those two guys because I don't expect Justin Fields to have a award-winning, record-breaking year this next year. I think he's got to build up to that with this new offense. And so I want Aaron Rodgers for the next few years. And so I was hoping that he would fall back to the next round to me.
That checks out. I think that's a great point. If you guys aren't used to playing Dynasty, sometimes you draft the player that you would project lower for the next 1 or 2 seasons for that upside, right? Like JL, who would you draft first, Javonte Williams or Nick Chubb? You took Javonte Williams, so I'm guessing Javonte, right?
Yeah, I think I'd take Javonte over Nick Chubb.
Next season, $1 million on the line. Who do you think scores more fantasy points? Nick Chubb, right? Vic, what about you?
Yeah, I'm taking Javonte in the startup, but put up more points, Nick Chubb.
Yeah, so sometimes in Dynasty, it's not just the guy that you think's going to score the most points next year. You got to think of a little bit bigger window. It's probably one of the harder adjustments when moving to Dynasty. That, and then being careful not to overcorrect on that front, like finding that balance. Yes. And then the other one for me is how to value picks. Valuing picks is really hard in a Dynasty league for me. I still struggle with it.
Yeah, try to put names to the picks. Or I try and put like general, like who has gone in that pick over the last few years, and that usually helps me gauge.
Like, is this an Antonio Gibson? Like, that's, you can start.
Well, Antonio Gibson's a weird example because like
he's an outlier.
He went in like the 3rd round of 1 QB rookie drafts, beginning of the 3rd round. So people weren't as high on him until he really found his team, found his position, his role in that offense.
Yeah. I'm with you. Swamp said when the Bengals won, they shot fireworks in my neighborhood. The Bengals did,
or just like the nondescript people of the neighborhood?
The Bengals did. The Bengals showed up. And then Jimmy said he heard some shooting, but didn't think it was fireworks. That on the 4th of July here, New Year's Eve, they blew off fireworks for about 8 hours straight in San Antonio. It was absolutely nuts across the whole city. And then around 11 p.m., people definitely started running out of fireworks because those were not firework bangs. Like, you started hearing like full clips being emptied into the air as well. It was, it was like, if I was just sitting there thinking, like, sitting in the living room, just like casually doing a puzzle, playing a board game with my girlfriend, while like it literally sounds like a war zone outside our house. Like, there's gunshots and bangs and lights flashing. Like, it was almost surreal, like that New Year's Eve experience with all the noises going on outside.
It's pretty fun.
You guys imagine being in Cincinnati last night?
Crazy.
Oh, I bet it was wild.
It must have been absolutely nuts.
Like Philly after they won the Super Bowl.
I'm surprised
that
Philly
was a
still
war
exists.
Zone. That was
a straight war zone.
Yeah, I was surprised Philly was still on the map the next day after the Eagles won that Super Bowl. I thought it might have just been erased.
It's been a minute since I've been in Philly. I got to go back.
I've never been to Philly. I've been to Charlie's. I've been to Charlie's Philly cheesesteaks at the mall in San Antonio. Does that count?
No.
That's authentic, right?
Nope.
Not even close.
Not even close, Dan. I have a very important question about Philadelphia. Do they do chicken Phillies there, or will I be like blasphemed if I show up and ask for a chicken Philly?
I don't know. I'm a vegetarian.
You are a vegetarian.
Not when I went to Philly, though. I was not vegetarian.
Did you eat a cheesesteak?
Oh, I ate many.
10? Over or under Joe Burrow gets sacked as many cheesesteaks as you would in Philly?
I'll take the over on that one, Alex.
All right. I saw my guy went a long time ago. I would love to have Gabe Davis on my team. I am a Gabe Davis guy. I'm the guy that houses him on all my dynasty roster for the most part. But I'm gonna go with some upside here. I'm gonna go Terrace Marshall.
Bam, ahead of Marquise Brown. I like Terrace Marshall pick.
I didn't even see Brown. Wow, I gotta open up my eyes.
I was hoping he'd fall back. No. I was hoping he'd fall back to me. He went in the 6th round.
Okay, right. You were saying Gabe Davis went ahead of.
Gabe Davis went. Yeah, exactly.
So Gabe Davis in the 6th round. Vic, you said Gabe Davis is your dude. Is that too early for you?
6th round, yeah, yeah, that's still too early in my opinion. But I get it. The hype's there right now, so get your guys. I'm not mad at that.
Also, come here now, Beach 89, saying Cincinnati has a declining population. I don't know. Like,
that might change if they win a Super Bowl.
Like we're sitting here, like imagine being in
Lots
Cincinnati
of babies
last
being
night.
made.
Yeah,
They come here now, sitting here like, well, actually, Cincinnati has a declining population, so it probably wasn't too wild. You know what? That's a great point. The one time I was visiting Tim in Cincinnati on my way up to Cleveland when he worked there, and we tried to go out, and we walked around at like 10 p.m. and we couldn't find a single other person. We were like wandering the streets the day before Thanksgiving, looking for a bar we could go into, something, and it was just empty. Nothing. Maybe we were in the wrong part of town.
Whoa. What?
What do you mean? What?
Oh, never mind. Okay, sorry, I read that wrong. I thought it auto picked for me. I was like, what the hell? What the hell's happening?
We got Mo Ziggin here saying this was dope. Thanks, guys. Thank you for joining. We love doing these mock drafts. They're fun to draft with you guys. And we got one more round to wrap up.
I don't know who to take here. I hate everybody.
It's the JL special. Hating everybody.
Yeah, that is very me.
And Feiji saying O-line is vital and Bengals don't have one, just proves how good Burrow is. Their O-line's better than I think people gave them credit for coming into the season. They took an O-lineman at the top of the 2nd, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Top of the 2nd.
They took Jackson Carman, the Clemson
from the Clemson guy. Yeah,
from the Clemson guy. He went from the Orange Tigers.
Yeah, he's made from the Clemson guy.
Yeah, they made him from the Clemson guy. They got 2 tackles out of that pick. They made a tackle, a guard and a tackle there.
Twins.
Yeah, they have the same name as well. Biologically identical. Carson Wentz, JL. You love him?
Yep.
He's your Dynasty QB1.
Oh, man.
Vic, you shook your head with that pick. Not a Carson Wentz fan?
I'm a Colts fan, and that one hurts, man. So, yeah, I'm not really a fan. So
yeah,
I was cautiously optimistic when we signed him.
I was also cautiously optimistic. I was sitting there thinking, okay, maybe this is Carson Wentz's turnaround story. He's going to get it done. Do you want him to stay long-term as the quarterback for the Colts, or are you hoping they do something else?
Let's pivot, man. I mean, at one point, I even wanted Jimmy G. So even after this poor performance, I think I would still take Jimmy G. I feel like he just manages the game a little bit better than Carson Wentz at this point. And I know this is all bad, and it's really like you can't really win in either scenario, but that's how upset I am with Carson.
Would you rather Jameis Winston or Carson Wentz as the quarterback for the Colts?
Give me Jameis, man. I'll take all his interceptions, and for the most part, he's handing off the ball to JT, so we should be good. Yeah,
you're right. What about this name might just get laughed out, but Mitchell Trubisky or Carson Wentz? He's getting talked up by that Bills camp, but I also know it's in their best interest to talk him up, right?
Hey, I like Mitch. I mean, don't get me wrong. He has a little bit of rushing chops, so he can help move the ball a little bit. So, yeah, I'm going to take Mitch, and I know that sounds crazy, but
no, I don't
give me
think
Mitch.
It's crazy. I don't think it's crazy. You saw, I think, what you're going to get from Carson Wentz this season. Maybe with a year under Josh Allen and that Bills offense, we saw some real growth from Mitch Trubisky. It's that mystery box. Could be anything, even Carson Wentz.
Give me Wentz.
Give you Wentz, says the guy who just drafted him.
We're good. We're good offense.
Oh, you're on the clock, Vic. Sorry,
I am on the clock.
You got 20 seconds. I can.
No, you're good. No, we're good. We're good. We're gonna
just give you that full minute.
I'm gonna go with some upside, man. Irv Smith. So Thielen's been banged up, and I forgot the guy who stepped in at the tight end spot for the Vikings this year. Drawing a blank, but he stepped in. Let me see if I can pull up his name. Who is that guy?
He had a weird name, right?
Yeah, there we go. Tyler Conklin. So
that's not that weird.
Yeah. Just seeing him getting some production. Yeah, we saw Conk step in there. So hopefully Irv Smith can bounce back.
Yeah.
Catfish. Tyler Conklin.
All caps. He's got to yell it.
Tyler Conklin.
And JL had a question for you, JL. Wentz over Mac Jones?
Yeah. Wentz looked good this year, man. Wentz looked real good at times.
At times. He had good games.
Arizona,
really good games.
We'll give him that Arizona game.
The Baltimore game, he looked fantastic.
Yeah, that too. Okay.
Also, Kelly, welcome in. Said better late than never. Glad to have you here, Kelly.
What up, Kelly?
And Feiji wants to know Simon or JL in Dynasty.
That's easy Simon for me.
Vic, I'm just kidding.
I think my mic just muted or went offline. So. I don't want to pick, man. You guys are great, man. So give me the whole squad. Give me the 112 so I can take both of you guys back to back.
It'd still be a reach. I'll take Josh. I'll take the one that's not
fair.
here. But if I have to pick,
great, I picked you. I picked Josh. That's fantastic. That looks great for me.
And come here now with more population facts. That in fact, Simon, Phoenix has a higher population than Philly and San Antonio. And San Antonio is projected to pass Philly in the population in the future. I believe it. San Antonio is the fast growing city in the nation from percentage of population wise. And that's our draft, guys. I knew it was the end of our draft, even though it was covered, because they scream football noises in your ears on Sleeper if you don't have the sounds muted right whenever the draft ends. Guys, that is going to be it for our mock draft today. Thank you, everyone who joined and drafted along with us. And Vic, thank you so much for coming on with us today, my man. Guys, if you do not already follow our friend Vic, go follow him right now at Chief Sosa FF. It's right there below his face. And Vic, truly, it's so much fun streaming with you, man. Glad you were able to make the time and come on with us today.
Hey, thanks for having me. And we got to have you guys on the Dynasty Bros. I know JL, he's been on there.
Yeah, I've been on.
Has that smooth nickname. Still waiting for the album, but we got to get you on there, Simon.
Count me in. I'm down. Just hit me up, and I'll make time to come on over there with you guys. You guys run an awesome show there at Dynasty Bros. So, guys, not only should you follow our boy Vic, but make sure you go follow the Dynasty Bros FF as well on Twitter. Follow the whole crew over there. They're doing some solid stuff.
Avo. Great crew.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Guys, that is going to be it for us this afternoon. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time for some more fantasy football game shows. So make sure you tune in then. Until then, everyone, we are out of here. Adios.
Bye-bye.
Peace.